Hey everyone, Token Dave over here. Dorky Token Black Guy is just trying to get by. And welcome to another edition of First Attack. Here, I share my thoughts on how well the pilot or first episode of a TV series is. Keep in mind that my views and my opinions are not reflective on the season or series as a whole. It is just my take on how well the first episode of said series is. So, if you notice my videos are pretty, underwhelming and very amateurish, that's because basically I don't really know much about video editing or anything like that. This is my hobby. My day job is in an office. I actually work in the accounting department of an office in Westchester County, New York, But being a New York City resident, I've worked at offices, 9-to-5 jobs in the city, and they can be draining and make you feel soulless and everything. But, there are those that are using that particular type of job in that environment to go far. And basically, we're tackling the dark comedy side of that in the first episode of the new series, Corporate, on Comedy Central. So, Matt and Jake are junior executives in training of a major corporation called Hampton DeVille that is run by the company's CEO, Charles DeVille, who's a bit tyrannical and unhinged. Charles has two executives, John and Kate, that basically, are tasked to do Charles's bidding, but instead of getting their hands dirty, they usually go to Matt and Jake to do the dirty work for them. And the series seems like it's basically Matt and Jake's misadventures in corporate America in their office, basically dealing with various extreme things when you're working in the office. This first attack is probably going to be short. I hope it is, because there's pretty not much to say from this first episode. I don't want to give away the plot because, to be honest, it's easy to spoil. But let me just state this, that this show itself, the way it looks, it's not as much character-driven. More so, it's just basically putting two characters in some of the most ridiculous, over-the-top situations that you might find in a corporate office or in an office in general. We always have those people that are basically mid-managers or people that are on the cusp of becoming mid-managers that kind of are uncomfortable with either being so high up or kind of are learning to develop more of a spine to be an actual leader. But then you actually see that basically when you're about to get into that level, that the C-suite and other executives are kind of really douchey, and it makes you question, do you really want to climb this ladder or not, Usually, there's only one reason why you're trying to climb that ladder. You're trying to make some more money and everything, And it shows that basically, while one of these two actually, has a deep outlook on life, the other one, Matt is the one that has a deep outlook and is the most relatable one. While his friend Jake is basically power hungry, and he's basically a normal douchebag that, he's on the cusp and he'll definitely let power corrupt him. But these two are going on a bit of a misadventure in this office, and as one that works in an office, there are some things that are, pretty interesting. For example, one thing that this show does is they made the CEO a black dude and everything, which is pretty cool, but good Lord have mercy. This bro needs to cut down on the steroids or on the road rage, because damn, this guy is so uptight. I mean, it's borderline watching a gang member. Well, not even a gang member, but more of a well-read thug or wannabe gang member running the organization, because this guy is clearly nuts. I mean, you see him wake up, you see him make a blender to be healthy and everything, and he's punching a bag, but then he hears something, and he takes out a katana, and he chops down the bag and stabs it. And I'm like, whoa, okay. And then later on, you see him, try to do an over-the-top Al Capone, business meeting, and I'm just like, yeah, dude, cut back on the roids, The lieutenant executives, basically, John and Kate are basically the bosses you have that are really passive-aggressive, but are basically, trying to, utilize their position more so for themselves and looking out for themselves more so. And, they actually, really harass the Matt and Jake with some of the most redundant things. Like, for example, in the beginning of the episode, Kate comes in and then she asks Matt, did you CC John? And then Matt is like, yeah. And then she's like, well, look at the email, and then you didn't CC John. And then he's like, oh, really? And then John comes in and says, no, you BCC'd me. It's like, really? Really? But there are managers like that in the office that it's like, you got the damn email, all right? But you really can't say that because it's your butt on the line, because it's your job on the line. And that's how Matt and Jake feel. Now, like I said, Matt is the one who looks like the main character. Looks a little more sane and everything, and more understanding. Well, Jake is just a douchebag. And I gotta say, there are two guest characters on the on this episode, but they're hilarious. Particularly the social media guru and everything that pulled up embarrassing pictures of Jake and everything, or a YouTube video, which is hilarious. And basically, we're introduced to a guy named Richard who actually works in the IT department in the social media area, and how Richard actually finds a way to always get a thing of cake because there are times when you try to get to the office and then you're late and you don't get breakfast and you're starving and everything. And speaking about this, I'm going back to the day Matt and Jake were in an early morning meeting, and there was a whole bunch of donuts and bagels there, and then they couldn't eat them because they had to wait for the executives to eat first. After the executives eat, the junior executives, and then the executives in training eat. And you actually see how, Matt is really wants something to eat because he actually woke up too late and probably didn't have enough money to, really pay for food and everything. And he is just starving. And then you just see how people in the office are like, man, that looks good, but I really want to take it, but I can't really take it because I got to let other people take it. So it goes along with that. There are some hilarious other things that I can't give away because it will spoil it. But if you're one of my viewers that works in the office 24/7, well, not 24/7, but works the 9-to-5 office job, you'll actually appreciate this because it shows you how you already know how basically, soulless the job kind of can make you to a degree if you work in a major corporation like this. But it also shows basically how screwed up yet how hilarious interacting with people in the office are, and some of the most weirdest scenarios that you could think of happen in your office. So while I say that the character's not really fleshed out, a lot of the situations and a lot of the reactions are priceless. So I'm going to give basically corporate a clean strike. It does its job. It does its thing. Do I think you should go out and watch it? Well, it depends. It really depends. But if you work in an office, you definitely should watch this because you'll be able to identify with a lot of things. Agree? Disagree? Drop me a comment below. Give me a like. Follow me on Facebook at Token Dave or on Twitter at Token Dave 80. Subscribe and ring that bell so you know when a new video loads. But until then, this has been Token Dave, the dorky token black guy who's just trying to get by. I'll catch all of you later.